Good morning, sunshine. Welcome back to Beginner English, the podcast. I'm Emma, and I'm absolutely buzzing with energy today.
And I'm David, though I have to confess I'm still working on my first cup of coffee. Don't judge me, it's barely 9 in the morning.
Oh, David, you're such a drama queen. Speaking of mornings, can you believe we've already made it to day 2 of our shadowing adventure?
I know, right? Yesterday we covered the basics of morning routines, and honestly, I think we did a pretty fantastic job explaining how to wake up without looking like a zombie.
I should see David in the morning, everyone. He literally shuffles around like he's auditioning for a horror movie until he gets his caffeine fix.
Hey, that's completely unfair. I prefer to think of it as my mysterious morning persona. Very brooding, very artistic.
Mysterious? More like mystifying. But seriously, folks, yesterday we talked about the fundamentals. Waking up, brushing teeth, getting dressed, making breakfast. All the essential stuff that keeps us functioning like decent human beings.
And today we're stepping it up a notch. We're diving into the more interesting, quirky, and, let's be honest, sometimes chaotic parts of our morning routines.
Exactly. We're going to explore those little moments that make each morning unique. You know, like when you're running late and can't find your keys, or when you accidentally put salt in your coffee instead of sugar.
Wait, Emma, please tell me you didn't actually do that this morning.
Maybe, but that's a story for later. The point is, today we're getting real about morning routines. No more perfect Instagram-worthy mornings. We're talking about authentic, messy, wonderfully human mornings.
And as always, we want you to shadow along with us. Listen to what we say, then repeat it in your own voice. Don't worry about being perfect, just have fun with it.
That's right. Shadowing is like dancing with language. You don't need to hit every step perfectly. You just need to move with the rhythm and enjoy yourself.
I love that analogy, Emma. Though, knowing you, you probably dance better than most people speak English.
Flatterer. All right, everyone. Are you ready to dive into day 2? Grab your favorite morning beverage, get comfortable, and let's explore the wonderful world of intermediate morning routines.
So, Emma, yesterday we covered the absolute basics, but let's be real. Our mornings are way more complicated than just waking up and eating breakfast, aren't they?
Oh my goodness, yes. There's so much more that happens between opening our eyes and stepping out the door. Like, what about checking our phones? Come on, we all do it.
Guilty as charged. I swear, sometimes I think my phone is surgically attached to my hand. The first thing I do after turning off my alarm is scroll through my messages.
Same here. And then there's that moment of panic when you realize you've been scrolling for 20 minutes and you're suddenly running behind schedule.
Every single day. It's like social media has this magical power to make time disappear. 1 minute you're checking the weather, and the next minute you're watching videos of cats wearing tiny hats.
Don't even get me started on those cat videos. But seriously, checking our phones has become such an integral part of our morning routine, hasn't it?
Absolutely. We check our messages, scan through emails, maybe peek at the news headlines, and of course, see what our friends posted on social media overnight.
And speaking of technology, what about choosing music for our morning? I don't know about you, but the right playlist can completely transform my mood.
Oh, music is crucial. I have different playlists for different types of mornings. There's my I'm running late and need motivation playlist, my relaxed weekend morning playlist, and my personal favorite, the I feel like singing in the shower playlist.
You sing in the shower? That's adorable. I bet your neighbors love that.
Hey, don't knock it until you've tried it. There's something incredibly liberating about belting out your favorite songs when you're all soapy and carefree.
I actually love that. Music really does set the tone for the entire day, doesn't it? A good song can turn a gloomy morning into something magical.
Exactly. And Then there's the whole process of planning your day while you're getting ready. You know, mentally running through your schedule, remembering appointments, maybe panicking slightly about that important meeting you forgot about.
Oh, the mental planning. That's such a real part of the morning routine. I stand in front of my closet every morning, not just choosing clothes, but basically strategizing my entire day. What outfit will work for that presentation? Will it rain? Do I need to dress more professionally today? Should I bring a jacket? It's like being a weather forecaster and fashion consultant all rolled into one.
And don't forget about breakfast choices. Yesterday we talked about making breakfast, but we didn't really dive into the decision-making process. Some mornings I stare into my refrigerator for 5 minutes, hoping inspiration will strike.
The refrigerator stare. It's a universal morning experience. You open the door, look around hopefully, close it, lower your expectations, then open it again, as if new food might have magically appeared.
Exactly. And then there's the eternal breakfast dilemma. Do I make something healthy and time-consuming, or do I grab something quick and probably less nutritious?
The struggle is real. Sometimes I have grand plans for elaborate breakfast with fresh fruit and homemade smoothies, but then reality hits and I end up eating cereal straight from the box while running out the door.
You eat cereal from the box. David, that's both horrifying and oddly relatable.
Don't judge my survival tactics. But speaking of morning challenges, what about those days when nothing goes according to plan?
Oh, you mean like when your alarm doesn't go off, or you spilled toothpaste on your shirt, or you can't find your keys anywhere?
Yes, those mornings when the universe seems determined to test your patience and problem-solving skills before you've even had your first sip of coffee.
Those are actually the most interesting mornings to talk about because that's when we really use our English skills creatively. We have to adapt, improvise, and communicate about unexpected situations.
That's such a good point. Learning to describe chaotic mornings in English is incredibly useful. It's real-life language that everyone can relate to.
All right, Emma, I have to ask you something, and I want you to be completely honest with our listeners.
Uh-oh, this sounds dangerous. What's the question?
You want the truth. The whole embarrassing truth.
Every awkward detail.
Okay, fine, but you're going next. So, this morning, my alarm went off at 6:30 as usual. I hit the snooze button, not once, not twice, but 3 times.
3 times, David?
I know, I'm weak. But here's where it gets interesting. After finally dragging myself out of bed, I stumbled to the bathroom, still half asleep.
Classic zombie David mode.
Exactly. So I'm brushing my teeth, right? And I'm staring at myself in the mirror, wondering why I look like I've been living in a cave for several months.
We've all been there.
But then, and this is the best part, I accidentally squeezed way too much toothpaste onto my toothbrush. We're talking about a toothpaste mountain here.
Oh no, what did you do?
Well, I tried to scrape some back into the tube, but of course that's impossible once it's already on the brush. So I just went with it and brushed my teeth with enough toothpaste for a small army.
That's hilarious. I bet your teeth have never been cleaner.
My mouth felt like a mint factory exploded in it. But wait, there's more. After my super minty toothbrushing experience, I went to make coffee.
Please tell me you didn't mess up the coffee too.
Oh, Emma. Sweet, optimistic Emma. Of course I messed up the coffee. I was still groggy from my toothpaste overdose, and I accidentally put coffee grounds directly into my mug instead of into the coffee filter.
No way! How did you not notice?
That's the thing. I didn't notice until I had already poured hot water over everything. Suddenly, I had a mug full of what looked like muddy soup.
I'm dying. What did you do then?
I stood there for a moment, questioning all of my life choices, and then I dumped everything out and started over. But by then, I was running late, so I ended up grabbing a travel mug and making instant coffee instead.
Instant coffee? The horror.
I know. It was a morning of compromises and poor decisions. But here's the thing. Even with all those little disasters, I still made it to work on time and felt pretty good about my day.
That's actually a beautiful lesson about resilience and rolling with the punches.
Exactly. Sometimes our mornings don't go according to plan, but we adapt and keep moving forward. It's very human and very relatable.
All right, your turn to interrogate me. What do you want to know about my morning?
I want to know about your wardrobe selection process. You always look so put together, but I suspect there's chaos behind the scenes.
Oh, David, you know me too well. Okay, so picture this. I wake up and immediately check the weather on my phone because I'm obsessed with being appropriately dressed for the temperature.
That sounds very responsible and organized.
It starts that way. So I see it's going to be partly cloudy with a chance of rain, temperatures ranging from 65 to 75 degrees. Seems straightforward, right?
Right.
Wrong. I open my closet and suddenly I'm paralyzed by choices. Do I dress for 65 degrees or 75 degrees? What if it rains? What if it doesn't rain but looks like it might rain?
I can see where this is going.
So I pull out a light sweater, then think maybe it's too warm. I put it back and grab a t-shirt, then worry I'll be cold. I compromise with a long sleeve shirt, but then I think it might look too casual.
How long does this decision-making process take?
This morning, 15 minutes. 15 whole minutes to choose a shirt. And that's not even including pants, shoes, and accessories.
15 minutes? Emma, that's longer than some people spend on their entire morning routine.
I know! It's ridiculous. But here's the really embarrassing part. After all that deliberation, I ended up wearing the exact same outfit I wore 3 days ago.
You're kidding.
I wish I were. I got so overwhelmed by choices that I defaulted to something I knew worked. It's like my brain just gave up and chose the safe option.
That's actually pretty smart in a weird way. When in doubt, go with what you know works.
That's what I told myself too. But then I spent another 10 minutes wondering if people would notice I was wearing the same thing again.
Did anyone notice?
Not a single person, which taught me that most people are way too busy worrying about their own morning disasters to pay attention to anyone else's wardrobe choices.
That's so true. We spend all this time agonizing over details that probably no one else will even notice.
Exactly. And speaking of morning anxiety, can we talk about the great key hunt that happened at my apartment this morning?
Oh no, you lost your keys?
Not lost, just creatively relocated. I always put them in the same spot by the door, but this morning they had mysteriously vanished.
Where did you find them?
In the refrigerator.
In the refrigerator? How do keys end up in the refrigerator?
That's an excellent question. I have absolutely no memory of putting them there. I can only assume that last night, while I was putting away groceries, I somehow confused my keys with a carton of milk.
That's hilarious and slightly concerning.
Right? I found them next to the yogurt, looking very confused and probably quite cold. Poor little keys had no idea how they ended up in dairy product territory.
I love how you're anthropomorphizing your keys. Poor little keys.
Well, they looked traumatized. But seriously, it made me realize how automatic our movements become. I was probably thinking about 10 different things while putting groceries away.
Multitasking can be dangerous. I once found my TV remote in the dishwasher.
How does that even happen?
I was cleaning up after dinner, watching TV, and apparently my brain decided the remote belonged with the dirty dishes. Luckily, I noticed before running the dishwasher.
These stories are making me feel so much better about my morning chaos.
That's exactly why I love talking about real mornings instead of perfect ones. Everyone has these little moments of confusion and comedy.
You know what, David? I think we should show our listeners how to have a natural conversation about morning routines. Want to do a little role play?
Absolutely. That sounds fun. What's the scenario?
Let's pretend we're coworkers who just arrived at the office, and we're chatting by the coffee machine about our mornings. Sound good?
Perfect. I'll be the coworker who's had a rough morning, and you can be, well, yourself.
Hey, thanks for that vote of confidence. All right, everyone, listen to how we naturally talk about our mornings, then try repeating some of the phrases we use.
Here we go.
Morning, David. You look a little frazzled. Rough start to the day?
Oh, Emma, you have no idea. I'm convinced the universe was testing my patience this morning. My alarm clock decided to have a malfunction, so I overslept by 30 minutes.
Yikes, that's never a good way to start the day. Did you manage to catch up, or are you still feeling behind?
Well, I tried to make up for lost time, but that led to a comedy of errors. I was rushing around my apartment like a maniac, trying to get ready in half the usual time.
I can picture it now. What happened next?
So I'm speed showering, right? And I accidentally grabbed my roommate's shampoo instead of mine. Turns out he uses some fancy organic stuff that smells like, I don't even know how to describe it, like a garden mixed with a health food store.
That doesn't sound too terrible.
It wasn't bad, just unexpected. But then I realized I'd been so focused on the shampoo situation that I forgot to actually wash my hair with it. I just stood there sniffing it for 2 minutes.
You were probably in shock from being so rushed. Did you eventually get your hair washed?
Eventually, yes, but by then I was running even more behind schedule, so I threw on the first clothes I could find, which happened to be yesterday's shirt and a pair of jeans that I'm pretty sure belonged to my roommate.
Wait, you're wearing your roommate's pants?
Maybe. They fit fine, but they're definitely not mine. I found them on my bedroom floor and made an executive decision. Desperate times call for desperate measures.
I'm impressed by your problem-solving skills. What about breakfast? Did you have time to eat anything?
Breakfast was an adventure in itself. I opened my refrigerator with high hopes, but all I found was a questionable leftover pizza slice and some wilted lettuce.
Please tell me you didn't eat questionable pizza for breakfast.
The pizza won the battle against the wilted lettuce. And honestly, it wasn't terrible. Cold pizza has a certain charm when you're desperate and running late.
I'm a braver person than I am. I would have just grabbed an energy bar and called it a day.
Actually, I did grab an energy bar too. So technically, I had a balanced breakfast. Carbohydrates from the pizza and, well, more carbohydrates from the energy bar.
A carb-loading breakfast. Very athletic of you.
That's exactly what I told myself. But what about you? Please tell me your morning was more civilized than mine.
Well, it started out civilized, but it had its own little plot twists. I woke up feeling very organized and motivated. I had this whole plan to make a proper breakfast and take my time getting ready.
That sounds lovely and responsible.
It was. I made scrambled eggs, toast, even fresh orange juice. I was feeling very proud of my domestic skills.
So what went wrong?
Nothing went wrong exactly, but I got a little too confident. I decided to eat breakfast while checking my email, which seemed like efficient multitasking.
Oh no, I can see where this is heading.
I was reading this really interesting article that someone sent me, completely absorbed in it, when suddenly I realized I had been absent-mindedly eating my scrambled eggs with a spoon.
A spoon? Not a fork?
A spoon. I have no idea when I switched utensils or why my brain thought scrambled eggs were spoon-appropriate food. I just looked down, and there I was, spooning eggs into my mouth like they were soup.
It's actually kind of brilliant in a weird way. Spoons are very efficient.
Right? I decided to just go with it. Who says scrambled eggs require a fork? I'm starting a new breakfast trend.
I support this rebellion against traditional breakfast utensil expectations.
Thank you. But then I realized I was going to be late if I didn't start moving, so I quickly got dressed and headed out the door.
Did you make it on time?
I did, but only because I discovered a new shortcut through the park. Sometimes being slightly rushed leads to pleasant discoveries.
That's such a positive way to look at it. So we both survived our chaotic mornings and made it to work with interesting stories to tell.
Exactly. And honestly, I think I prefer mornings with a little bit of unpredictability. They're more memorable and definitely more entertaining.
Plus, they give us great material for conversations like this one.
And that's how you have a natural, friendly conversation about your morning routine.
Did you notice how we used lots of descriptive language, told stories, and asked follow-up questions?
Exactly. We weren't just listing activities, we were sharing experiences and connecting with each other through our stories.
That's what makes conversations interesting and memorable. The details, the emotions, the little disasters to make us human.
And the humor. Don't forget the humor. Being able to laugh at ourselves and find the funny side of frustrating situations is such an important part of communication.
Absolutely. Some of the best conversations happen when people share their imperfect moments and realize they're not alone in their morning chaos.
Before we wrap up today's episode, let's talk about some of the more advanced vocabulary and expressions we've been using.
Great idea. Our listeners are at the B1, B2 level, so they're ready to tackle some more sophisticated language.
Let's start with some phrases for describing when things don't go according to plan. David, what are some expressions you used today?
Well, I said I had a comedy of errors this morning. That means a series of mistakes or unfortunate events that happen one after another.
I love that expression. It sounds much more elegant than just saying everything went wrong.
Right, and I also mentioned that I was running behind schedule. That's a polite way to say you're late or not keeping up with your planned timeline.
Another good one is making up for lost time, which means trying to work faster or be more efficient to compensate for time you've already lost.
Yes, and what about when you said you were paralyzed by choices? That's such a vivid way to describe feeling overwhelmed by too many options.
That's one of my favorite expressions. It perfectly captures that feeling when you have so many possibilities that you can't decide on anything.
We also use some great phrasal verbs today, like rolling with the punches, which means adapting to difficult situations without getting too upset.
And defaulting to something, which means choosing your usual or safe option when you can't decide on anything else.
What about expressions for describing your energy levels in the morning? We had some good ones.
Oh, yes. You said you were buzzing with energy, which means feeling very excited and energetic.
And I mentioned being in zombie mode, which is a fun way to describe feeling very sleepy and slow-moving.
Don't forget dragging yourself out of bed, which perfectly describes that reluctant feeling of getting up and you don't want to.
These kinds of expressive phrases really bring conversations to life, don't they?
Absolutely. They help you paint a picture with words and make your stories much more engaging.
And they show that you're comfortable with the language and ready to move beyond basic vocabulary.
Speaking of advanced language, let's talk about how we described our thought processes and decision-making.
Good point. Like when you talked about mentally running through your schedule or strategizing your entire day.
Those phrases show that you can talk about abstract concepts, not just physical actions.
And expressions like questioning all my life choices add humor while describing moments of self-doubt or frustration.
The key is learning to use these expressions naturally in conversation, not just memorizing them in isolation.
Emma, I can't believe how much ground we've covered today. We've gone from basic morning routines to complex, chaotic, beautifully human morning experiences.
I know, right? And I hope everyone listening realizes that their own morning adventures, whether they're smooth and organized or delightfully chaotic, are perfect material for English conversation practice.
That's such an important point. You don't need to have perfect mornings to have great conversations about them. In fact, the imperfect moments often make the best stories.
Exactly. Every spilled coffee, every missing key, every wardrobe crisis is actually a gift. It's real-life language practice waiting to happen.
And the shadowing practice we've been doing helps you internalize these natural speech patterns and expressions, so when you have your own morning disasters, you'll know exactly how to describe them.
Plus, you'll sound natural and fluent when you're sharing stories with friends, colleagues, or anyone who asks about your day.
Speaking of sounding natural, I want to give a huge shout out to everyone who's been following along with our shadowing series. Your dedication to improving your English is absolutely inspiring.
Yes. Every time you repeat a phrase, every time you practice describing your morning, every time you listen to us ramble on about toothpaste disasters and refrigerated keys, you're getting stronger and more confident in English.
And confidence is everything. Once you realize that everyone has morning chaos and everyone loves sharing those stories, conversation becomes so much easier and more enjoyable.
That's the beauty of focusing on real, relatable experiences. You're not just learning vocabulary and grammar, you're learning how to connect with people through shared human experiences.
Which brings us to an exciting announcement. Are you ready for day 3, everyone?
Oh, I'm so excited about this. David, tell them what we're planning for tomorrow.
Well, if day 1 was about the basics and day 2 was about the beautiful chaos of real mornings, then day 3 is going to be about weekend morning routines.
Weekend mornings. Completely different energy, completely different vocabulary, and definitely some different challenges and opportunities.
Think about it. Weekend mornings are when we get to sleep in, be more relaxed, maybe try new breakfast recipes, or have lazy conversations over coffee.
But they also have their own complications, like sleeping too late and feeling groggy, or having ambitious weekend plans that compete with your desire to just stay in pajamas all day.
And the vocabulary is different too. We'll be talking about sleeping in, having a leisurely breakfast, catching up on things, and treating yourself to special weekend morning activities.
Plus, weekend mornings often involve other people, partners, roommates, family members, so we'll practice describing social interactions and shared activities.
It's going to be so much fun. We might even do some role plays about weekend morning conversations between couples or roommates.
And of course, we'll have plenty of shadowing practice with new vocabulary and more complex sentence structures.
But most importantly, we'll continue building your confidence and helping you realize that you already have so much to talk about in English. You just need the right vocabulary and expressions to share your experiences.
Before we sign off, I want to remind everyone of something really important. Your morning routine is uniquely yours, and that makes it interesting.
Yes, whether you're a morning person who bounces out of bed with enthusiasm, or you're like me and need 3 cups of coffee to achieve basic human functionality, your experience is valid and worth talking about.
And the more you practice describing your real experiences, the messy, imperfect, wonderfully human moments, the more natural and confident you'll become in all your English conversations.
So tonight, when you're getting ready for bed, think about your morning routine. Notice the little details, the decisions you make, the things that go smoothly, and the things that surprise you.
And tomorrow morning, while you're living your routine, try narrating it to yourself in English. It's like being the commentator of your own life.
That's actually brilliant advice, Emma. Self-narration is such a powerful practice technique that people often overlook.
Right? And it's free, it's always available, and it helps you process your experiences in English instead of just your native language.
All right, everyone. We've given you plenty to think about and practice. Thank you for joining us for day 2 of our shadowing adventure.
Thank you for listening, thank you for practicing, and thank you for bringing your authentic selves to your English learning journey.
Remember, every morning is a new opportunity to practice, to improve, and to find something worth sharing.
Keep shadowing, keep learning, and keep finding the humor and humanity in your daily experiences.
We'll see you tomorrow for day 3, weekend morning routines. It's going to be fantastic.
Until then, have wonderful mornings, embrace the chaos, and keep growing your English confidence one day at a time.
This is David.
And Emma.
Both signing off from Beginner English, the podcast. Sweet dreams, and see you tomorrow.